Most people in Call of Duty are running around with full auto weapons. Sure, a good chunk of the player base is sniping, but burst weapons, they always seem to be some of the least popular weapons in their respective games, but they are special. They require you to be a bit more precise than full autos, and that can make them tough to use. With that being said, there have been some absolute monster burst weapons in COD history, and that is what we are going to go over today. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. Today, we're looking at the best burst weapons in COD history. These are those weapons that if you got good, you would absolutely dominate. Let's kick things off at number 10 with the R3K in Infinite Warfare. Now, this wasn't a game full of memorable weapons. We all know that, but the R3K, it had more of an impact than most anything else because of how insanely powerful it was. It was an energy burst rifle. It fired 3 shots at a time, could get a 1-burst kill from pretty much anywhere on the map, honestly. Plus, since it was an energy weapon, it reloaded itself. It allowed you to be a bit more mobile with your playstyle. It was a really good weapon, but since Infinite Warfare had a lot of movement options, more than the average COD game, it was harder to use. It was harder to get 1-burst kills consistently regardless. It's a good way to kick off today's list. Before we move on, guys, the link is at the top of the description. The Chaos comic store is being stocked. We now have Funkos. We now have action figures. We actually have Fortnite action figures, Star Wars action figures, and we have new exclusive Funkos listed and a couple black and white Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Chase Funkos as well. So you guys check it out. Let me know if you get anything, and let's move on. At number 9. The M8A7 in Black Ops 3. Now, remaking a fan-favorite gun is a good way for a new game to feel more familiar. There's a lot of gun remakes in COD history. First one we're getting on this list today, it's not the last, is the M8A7. 4-round burst, beast at mid-range, capable of erasing enemies faster than most guns in the game, assuming you hit all your shots. It was I think it was a bit less forgiving for 1-burst kills than its older brother, but we'll talk about that one in a little bit. It was a fan-favorite in BO3. Many considered it to be one of the best competitive guns in the game. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I really miss Black Ops 3. I really do. Moving right along, we have the FR556 in Modern Warfare 2019. This game was chock full of powerful guns and punchy sound effects. The immersion factor went through the roof with the game. That's honestly one of my favorite things about this FR gun. 3-round burst or rifle felt heavy every time you pulled the trigger, and the power behind it, it wasn't messing around. This rifle could 1-burst people from any distance, basically, and since Modern Warfare 2019 was such a slow and campy game, it wasn't hard to nail people with all 3 bullets. I mean, the FR, it had to have one of the best times to kill in the assault rifle category. I think it's worthy of a shout, even if you weren't a fan of the game as whole. This one was pretty good. The M93 Rafael in Modern Warfare 2. This is one of the most insane pistols ever. Not just in Call of Duty, in any FPS game. It was essentially a pocket version of the M16 from COD 4. 3-round burst pistol, featured ridiculous 1-burst kill range. It allowed you to treat it like an assault rifle, but it had the handling of a pistol. Now, there were a few weird quirks, like the magazine not actually being a multiple of 3 for the burst, and a couple of the attachments having some hidden qualities, but the Rafael is still one of the most powerful and versatile secondaries in the entire franchise. I'm waiting on Infinity Ward to bring this sidearm back in all its glory. Perhaps we'll get it later this year, Modern Warfare 2. At number 6, the M8A1 in Black Ops 2, the original 4-round burst weapon in COD history. Still referred to as one of the best competitive rifles ever. An AR that had one of the best mid-range time to kills in the entire game, and the fire rate, it was fast. I mean, the burst itself was speedy, the time between bursts was pretty short. You didn't really feel like using it in burst mode. You didn't feel like it would put you at a disadvantage. So with the mobility and the smoothness of Black Ops 2's gameplay, it was a perfect fit for aggressive players in competitive matches. Hard point. It was a fan-favorite rifle, still one of the best burst weapons in the franchise. Now we get into some absolute dominators. The B23 Arm Black Ops 2. It may be a hot take, I think it was better than the M8A1. Here's why. Fantastic fire rate, insane time to kill. It handled significantly faster than any of the primary weapons in Black Ops 2. The default magazine may have been small and the reload animation may have been a tad on the long side, but the damage and the range were insane, and if you use fast mag or extended mags on it, the ammo capacity was not an issue. It was one of the most versatile secondary weapons in COD history. I still remember seeing tons of people running around Black Ops 2 multiplayer using this pistol as their primary weapon and dropping 100 kills a game. If you can use a pistol as a primary, that's a good sign. At number 4, the Famas in Modern Warfare 2. One of the most underrated guns in COD history. I mean, it was a ridiculous escalation of COD 4's M16. The burst came out at 900 rounds per minute, and if you were using stopping power, It was a one burst kill from literally any distance. And don't worry about missing any shots, because there was no recoil. It was largely overshadowed by guns like the ACR and the SCAR, but this burst rifle was an insane weapon that was more than capable of keeping up with the big boys. It still has a passionate fan base. I mean, insist it's actually better than the Black Ops 1 Famas, but I'll leave that debate up to you guys in the comment section, but it was a super underrated gun. At number 3, the pre-patch AUG in Warzone. If you were playing Warzone in late 2020, you know just how ridiculous things got when the Cold War guns were added. It was clear that many of the guns hadn't been thoroughly tested for Battle Royale, and this led to a handful of Treyarch weapons completely dominating the game for the first few months after the update. The standouts? The DMR and the MAC-10, but it didn't take long for people to discover the AUG, and it was completely busted. 3-round burst, solid handling for a tactical rifle, and it carried an insane one-burst kill range with it. The fire rate? It was high for a weapon like this. It made it arguably the best gun in the game for group fights. Now, Raven Software patched it down to earth, but the original Warzone Cold War AUG? It was absurd. I'm willing to bet at least a few of you took advantage of it. At number 2 today, the M16A4 in COD 4. Arguably the most infamous burst weapon of all time. It was one of the default unlocks in the game, and it remained your best pick even after you unlocked other choices. When using stopping power, it could one-burst people from any distance on the map, and since the burst was coming out at over 900 rounds per minute, there was no way for the target to react in time to escape. Plus, up to the mid-range, the M16 could kill with 2 bullets. It gave it legitimately one of the fastest AR TTKs in the franchise. It was nutty, and plenty of people spammed it to no end in both the original COD 4 and then the remaster when the connection was even better. With the M16 rumored to be returning in Modern Warfare 2 later this year, let's hope Infinity Ward doesn't make the same mistakes as they did with the original. Actually, hasn't it been confirmed? And at number 1 today, it has to go to the pre-patch MSBS in COD Ghost. It is one of the fastest patches in COD history. The MSBS was completely game-breaking when Ghost came out, and Infinity Ward nerfed it into the ground fast. When the game launched, it was essentially a buffed version of the COD 4 M16. Nobody knows why Infinity Ward thought it was a good idea, but it was there. The fire rate was insane, the handling was quick for an AR, the one-burst kill range was nutty, it really was. It could two-tap people from any distance on these large Ghost maps, plus on top of all that, you had the expansive perk and the attachment system in Ghost, which means you could buff pretty much all those things in one way or another to make it even more insane. It was easily the best gun in Ghost during launch week, but IW patched it into the dirt. Today, it's a decently balanced burst rifle, but back during the launch window, it was the best gun in the game. And if you ask me, it's also the best burst gun in COD history. Let me know if you actually got to experience it on launch day. There you have it. Those are the best bursts. Let me know one that didn't make the list that was deserving. Make sure you guys check out the Chaos comic store. We added toys and Funkos along with the comics, and I'll see you soon.